People say I talk about some weird stuff, some far out stuff. But how about that chair that you're sitting in isn't solid? How weird is that? This reality is nothing like we think it is.
When I saw what Icke is doing, I was a bit jealous on him. Wow, look at what this guy's doing.
I don't know if anybody else could do it but him, actually.
We are in a period now where speaking your truth is not just important, it's utterly crucial to where humanity goes from here. The world needs renegades, and it needs them now. Now, some good news. How long it will last, we'll see. But some good news with this headline: due to health concerns, Brussels stops 5G installation for now. According to the Brussels Times, in July, the government concluded an agreement with 3 telecom operators to relax the strict radiation standards in Brussels. But according to the region, it is now impossible to estimate the radiation from antennas required for the surface. I cannot welcome such technology if the radiation standards which must protect the citizen are not respected, 5G or not, Environment Minister Celine Fremold told Bruz. The people of Brussels are not guinea pigs whose health I can sell at a profit. We cannot leave anything to doubt, she asked. But of course, if that response was played out across the world, we wouldn't have 5G, because it cannot be justified because of the consequences. A pilot project is not feasible with the current radiation standards, and Fremold told Bruz that she does not intend to make an exception. The Brussels region has particularly strict radiation standards for telecom applications. The standard of 6 volts per meter has already led to problems in the past and with providing fast mobile internet via 4G in the capital. Last week, the various governments in Belgium once again failed to reach agreement on the auctioning of 5G licenses. The file remains stuck in the distribution of the proceeds. It will be up to the next government to handle the proposal, and said Telecom Minister Philippe de Backer last week. So the article goes on. Let's hope their wish, or for their sake, that the next government rules against 5G installation as well. After all, 200 plus scientists and doctors have signed a petition demanding a moratorium on 5G technology installation due to biological and environmental risks, and the telecom industry can't even prove it's safe. They've not even tried. 5G has already been installed elsewhere, though, and there have been consequences. Last year, a court case was won in England, but only after 5G had been installed in street lamps and residents became sick. Some women delivered stillborn babies. Also last year, 5G installed in New York City and was found to, residents reported that they became sick, and so did their pets. Some even put their homes up for sale. It's not just about 5G, though, the article says. Telecom companies have been warning shareholders for many years that eventually they may be held liable for deceptive practices and harm from their devices and infrastructure. There is still no safe level of exposure to any source of cell phone or wireless radiation that has been scientifically determined for children or pregnant women. And what happens is the industry tells government, or most government anyway, what levels of safety protection that are required for them to be able to do what they want to do. And then governments make the safety level just above what the companies need to do to play out their technology. On this occasion, briefly, or well, hopefully not briefly, but this won't go away. This minister in Belgium has decided the safety has not been proved, and therefore they're not going to give permission to roll this out. But that's how it works. You know, I mentioned in my books about the safety levels of mobile phones and how they're worked out. They use something called SAM phantom head. And this is a head of a human being based on a skull of an American soldier. And big, brawny, mature American soldiers on which it is based have thick skulls, and therefore have more protection for the brain from these mobile phone technologies and these frequencies. Children's skulls are much thinner, and therefore they have far less protection. And so the safety levels of mobile phone emissions are worked out on Sam Phantom Head, an American soldier. And the major telecom companies run their technology, many of them, right up to that Sam Phantom Head limit for a thick-skulled soldier, which are obviously going to be way over the limit of the skulls of children. So children are they're being so damaged by this. If you know, and maybe, you know, parents ought to think about that before they start handing mobile phones out to their kids, because, you know, the kids want one because the mates have got one. Well, you know, maybe children are served better sometimes by the word no for good reason, rather than yes, yes, yes. Now, another 5G story. Thousands of 5G networks coming to California after the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, removes public notice requirement. Now, you'll note that outside the public arena, outside the realm of the microphones and the cameras, there is gathering concern, indeed often outrage, at the dangers of 5G and how it's being rolled out without testing, which the telecommunications companies have admitted. That there was a Senate hearing recently at which the telecom industry representatives were asked how much they'd spent on independent testing of the dangers of 5G, and the answer was nothing. And you know, I was talking about all this in the interview with Brian Rose last night on London Real, and the thing is, if you can't win a debate, or you can't win an argument, you don't have it. So on one level, you see people shut down if they have a different view of a subject, transgender or global warming or any of these things, vaccines. They're shut down and they're just silenced or abused. And it's a similar principle with this. If you know that independent testing will reveal the true scale of the consequences for humanity of having 5G broadcasting all over the place, then you don't have the study. You don't do the investigation because you know what the outcome's going to be. And this is what this is all about. So here's another story where anything that would get in the way of what is fundamental to this whole smart grid control system I've been exposing for years, where public notice requirements are now removed. And of course, laws have been passed to stop states and councils just refusing these things. So this is the story. Thousands of 5G wireless hotspots are set to be installed across Thousand Oaks, California, and neighboring Simi Valley, Although many residents object to the installation, citing health concerns, an FCC law prevents them from doing much about it. And this is always red flag that it's the agenda. The FCC Rule 18-133 was put into effect last January. The rule strips certain cities of their rights to regulate 5G installations. In this case, 10 Ventura County municipalities fall under the rule and subject the areas to thousands of 5G installations. Unlike its predecessor, 4G, 5G requires a heavier density of network installations to be effective. Put another way, little boxes broadcasting this crap all the way down your street. This means more network towers, something many residents feel amounts to an unhealthy environment, and of course they're right. According to the Ventura County Star, the law classifies listed cities as small wireless facilities. The law's intent is to create a public right of way. It also ensures that cities and counties can't stop wireless network installations based on health concerns. The League of California Cities is changing the rule. According to the FCC, the rule prepares our national infrastructure for 5G, the next generation of wireless services, to meet rapidly increasing demand for wireless services. Providers must deploy infrastructure at significantly more locations using new small cell facilities. You're playing it out as the script, the agenda demands. Attorney Jonathan Kramer says the new FCC rule means 4,000 to 5,000 new cell sites. I mean, just ponder on this quote and play it across the world. This attorney, Jonathan Kramer, says that this rule means that 4,000 to 5,000 new cell sites installed over the next 5 years in Thousand Oaks alone. As it stands, Thousand Oaks only has 140 sites. Simi Valley has 100. He says the small wireless facilities are coming, and an astounding number of them are coming. Certainly more than 10 times the number of cell sites you have in Simi Valley today will be in the city within 3 to 5 years. Worse more, the rule translates into 5G wireless networks being processed without public notice, hearings or appeals. In other words, the people are extraordinarily limited in their ability to stop or slow 5G wireless network installs, and thousands of installations are now on the horizon. The intent is to speed up the installations, but critics view it as a way to circumvent growing 5G network opposition, which is exactly what it is. What people in the alternative media pointed out was coming is arriving. And that's why you have all the censorship of the alternative media now, because they don't want the truth circulating.
The world needs renegades, and it needs them now.